This lesson is a review for telling time. Now, you notice that I've got the clock here and it's missing a couple things. Well, it's missing a couple hands, but before I put those on, I want to point out a couple things. We all know that the clock at the top is 12 and it goes, the hours all the way up from 12 midnight to 12 noon and then from 12 noon to 12 midnight. And then this clock, which is the kind that we typically have seen in school classrooms, it has one of these for each minute. How many of these are there? Because you have the minute hand going all the way around, and when it gets all the way back up, it's an hour. So I guess what I'm asking is how many minutes are in an hour? Well, there's 60. So each jump from number to number, from the hour number to the hour number, there's 5. And so some of you will remember counting 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. If I write it on there, it's kind of hard to see. 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, and it's still in 55, 56, 57, 58, 59, and right at 60, we start over again at 0. That's just something to remember, telling time. I'm going to erase that right now. We're going to talk about something else about telling time. And this is something that confused me for a long time growing up. And that is the clock hands. These are called the hands of the clock. They don't look like hands. That's just what they're called. And there's 2 of them. What's the same about them? What's different? Well, they're both red. They both have a center here. They both point towards numbers. The different thing is that one is shorter and one is longer. The shorter one, I'm going to switch to a color that is a little bit more visible. The shorter one shows the hours. The longer one, I'll just draw an arrow from down here, is the minute hand. So 2 hands on the clock, the hour hand, the minute hand. And they both move around the clock at the same time. Now, in this, I cannot move both hands at the same time. I can only move one at a time. That's the limitations of my program. But I want to show you, whoops, didn't mean to click that. I want to show you how they move around. Okay, let me select this one, and it takes just a little bit. This hand, rotates around. The time right now would be 3 o'clock. So if we just wrote it, that would be 3:01. Oh, why isn't it rotating anymore? 3:02, 3:03, 3:04. There would be 3:05. 3:06, 3:07, 3:08, 3:09, 3:10, or 10 minutes after 3. 3:11, 3:12, 3:13, 3:14, 3:15. And that's where our 5, 10, 15 came in. Now, as that's happening in a real clock, this hand would be moving slightly as well. Okay, where it would be going slowly, like at 3:15, it would be about a quarter of the way between the 3 and the 4. I can't do that here, but you've seen real clocks, hopefully, at least in the classrooms at school, so you know that. But what I really want you to focus on right now is that when a clock looks like, let me grab one of these. I've got to bring the anchor here so that it spins around that little spot there. When a clock looks like this hand is between the 3 and the 4. So how do you know whether it's 3:15 or 4:15? Okay, so think of the space between numbers as a little room. As long as that little hand is in the space between the 3 and the 4, it's still in the 3 o'clock range. As long as the little hand is in this range, the first number in telling time is the 3. It's going to be 3 something. In this case, 3:15. If the little hand is up to the 4, as long as it's in between this range between 4 and 5, well, it's 4:15 or 4:30 or 4:45. And as the big hand moves around, this one will be too, but not until it's actually at the 5. And in here, will it be in the 5 o'clock range? It's kind of like your birthday. Your birthday's once a year, and maybe you're 8, and you're 8 all year until that day you turn 9. And then you're 9 all year until you turn 10. Now really you're 8 and 5 months, 8 and 6 months, 8 and 7 months, until you get to 8 and 12 months, and then you turn 9. Clocks are the same. You're still in this range, still in the 5 o'clock range all the way until it's here. And when it's there, this one will have moved as well, because this is moving all the way around. And so your range, it's in the 6 o'clock range. So 6 o'clock, 6:01, 6:02, 6:03, 6:05, 6:10, 6:15, 6:20, 6:25, 6:30, 6:35, 6:40, 6:45, 6:50, 6:55. And then when it turns to 7 o'clock, well, this hand will have been moving as well, and it will appear, just because that's how clocks work, it will have moved over. Again, I can't move the clock hands at the same times because my program just doesn't support that. But as long as this is in this range, this is the 6 o'clock range, 7 o'clock range, 8 o'clock range, 9 o'clock range, 10 o'clock range, 11 o'clock range, and then we start over at 12. Okay, hopefully that made some sense, and hopefully that will help you as you continue these lessons.